Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Passionate Teachers Group, wherein we are learning and exploring new tools every week to make our online classes more effective. In the previous sessions, we have already learned how to create Google Classrooms, then how to create the self-paced objective type assessments, which are automatically checked by the Google itself, and then we have also learned how to create subjective type exam. Now today's tutorial is all about Google Form settings. I will be explaining you the Google Form settings to be set before sharing it with the students, both for objective as well as subjective assessments. Let's continue and move on to our Google Form. So if you remember, this form we have created in our last tutorial. So I will be telling you today about the settings. So we can see this is a setting tab. When I click on this, so the first one is quizzes. It has got three sections. So first I'm going to quizzes. So if you remember, whenever we want to make our Google form as a quiz, whether objective or subjective, we need to mark it as make this a quiz. Now, what are the other features of this part? Let us quickly understand that. So we can see quiz options release grade immediately after each submission. If you are making a objective type assessment, which is just for the revision or for the students, and you want that immediately after the assessment they can see that what is the answer key of that objective assessment, then you can always keep this immediately after each submission. Whereas if you are making the subjective type assessment like we did in the last tutorial, in that case you should always mark it later after manual review, because we know that Google Forms cannot be, the subjective type questions cannot be checked by Google. You have to manually check those questions, those answers. So you have to, in that case, you have to mark later after manual review. Now respondents can see, respondents here means your students, those who are appearing for those tests. So they should always see the missed questions, so that before submitting they should know that they are leaving these questions. If you have not marked them required, then they should always be able to see that these are the missed questions which they haven't attempted. Then correct answers, this is up to you. Well, I suggest if you are doing for the objective test, always keep it marked, but if you are doing it for the subjective test, don't mark the correct answers. The child should always see the answers along with their checked copy when you will be going to share this after manual checking. Point value is the marks of the question. So yes, the child should see that how many marks this question carries. So these two should be marked. Then I'm saving this part. Now moving on to the next part of the settings, I am going to the next tab, that is presentation tab. Now in this there are three options. One is the show progress bar. So this is up to us. If you want that on the top of the form, when the child is been moving from one question to another, one section to another, it should show the progress bar. You can keep it marked. Otherwise, if it is closed, even then it's fine. Shuffle question order means, now this, if you are going for the objective, you should always mark it tick, so that every child should get the sequence of the questions in a different order. Whereas if you are doing for the subjective assessment, and you have planned your test in such a way that you want that first the short questions should come, then the long question, then the image type of questions, then if you will shuffle, then for every child this question sequence will be vary. So in that case, I suggest you not to mark it for subjective, whereas mark it for objective. Now show link to subject another response, submit another response. Now this I want say to mark it, because if you are doing the revision assessment and you want the child to do it as many times, then you can keep it yes. But when you are talking about the subjective assessment, which is a marked one, so obviously child should not appear more than once for the same assessment. So in that case it should be unmarked. Now this is a message which the child will get after submitting the assessment, that your response has been recorded. If you want to give some other guideline also, that you will get your result by so and so date, you can always add this here, right? Now moving on to the general tab. Now this is very important to understand the settings of this tab, because this once been shared with the child, and if it is not being done correctly, then you may face problems to share the results with the student. So whenever you are making an assessment which is a subjective type, in which you have to check the answer scripts and you have to share it back with the students, always remember to make this checkbox as tick, because if you are not collecting the email IDs of the students, students, you will never be able to share the results with them. And please give a very, very clear guidelines to the students beforehand, that they should double check the email ID which they are entering. It should be correct. Only then you will be able to share their result with them. Now, response receipt, you need not to give it to them. You just keep the collect email address. Limit to 1 response. Yes, we will make it yes, because if we are doing a subject assessment and we are not doing it only for the revision purpose, it is a marked assessment, then the child should only appear once for each assessment. So it should be limit to 1 response. Whereas if it's a revision one and you want the child to appear it for as many time as, then just keep it unchecked. Then respondent can, now what the child can see, edit after submit. No, of course we don't want that. After submission the child cannot make changes into it, so keep it unchecked. See summary chart and text responses. So no, we don't want the child to see the others summary and the text of the result of others and comparison, so definitely we will keep it unchecked. Then maximum, now this option will always come if you are introducing any image question in your form. For the objective type assessment or for the other questions, long or short type, this option doesn't come. But when you are accepting the image question, then this comes. So if you have multiple image questions in your paper, then I suggest you to at least keep it 10 GB. If it is just one short question, then I think 1 GB will also be suffice. Now please remember, from Google we have got 15 GB of free memory space. After that we have to either upgrade our space plan by paying a little more, right? So even if you are doing 10 GB and it is not utilized, your memory space will be still intact. So on safer side, keep it to 10 GB, although 1 GB itself is a big space. So if it is just one question, 1 GB suffice, right? And that's all for today. These settings you have to keep in mind before sending or sharing this assessment with your students, right? So thank you for watching my tutorial, and I request you all to please do subscribe to my channel, like the video, and do comment on my videos also, so that I should know that I am on a right track. Thank you.